Happy Friday to you. Happy almost spring. We're literally just hours away from, in some ways, well, in a lot of ways, perhaps one of the most anticipated and yearned for seasons of spring ever. It's the 19th. It's Friday. Thank you so much for spending a piece of it with me this evening. Yes, spring tomorrow, I think, officially around 5:27 or so in the a.m. And we'll hit right around 60 tomorrow for the first day of spring, and a little better than that for the second day of spring in the second half of your weekend. Your updated forecast, which has more sun in it than anything else. Oh, glad to say, in just a few moments. Headlines tonight. An update on the grants which are being distributed from the Appalachia Rises Telethon fundraising event that gathered more than $1.2 million. A lot of that money coming to McGoffin, Johnson, and other counties. Will tell you what you need to know, remind you where you can go to apply for some of those funds for our flood victims here locally. An update on that fire that displaced perhaps as many as 3 dozen individuals or families yesterday in Paintsville. Also, Johnson County case making headlines tonight after a man was officially sentenced to several years of federal prison for his role in a methamphetamine conspiracy. Of course, highlights from last night's Lady Eagle, Lady Tiger 57th District matchup. We'll see if there's an update on the stabbing death that was reported to you yesterday here on the program on Your News Today. But we will start this evening with the following: an interview with our Public Health Director, Mayor Pete Shepard. We will cover a few important topics tonight. One, we'll start off with case numbers. They have increased since our last report. Not dramatically, but a notable increase. We also have, for the first time in a long time, official confirmation on at least most of the deaths related to COVID-19 here in McGoffin County. He'll have that number for you and explain more in just a few moments. He'll also explain to us that the vaccine regulations or qualifications based on age and health conditions are easing here in McGoffin County at the health department starting on Monday.
Yeah, over the last week, since from last Friday to this Friday, we've had 14 cases. So we're averaging like basically 2 a day. We got down to 0. We had a couple of days there we did have 0 cases, but then it picked up. We got 2 or 3 here, but it's averaging out about two a day now.
I know that you've been working very hard on getting an accurate number of the lives lost in McGoffin County. Mm-hmm. Have you, and how's that breakdown?
Yes, we had our regional epidemiologist notify us today that they did have the official death count for McGoffin County without the nursing home included. This is just residents of McGoffin County. We've had 10 deaths since the pandemic started.
Do you know why there's separation first, before we go any further, why we don't know the nursing home and know the other yet? Or
the nursing home reports to a different group in Frankfurt, and then the epidemiologist has to decipher it out of that. And I think they've been kind of behind on reporting, is what I was told. So once they get their reporting up to date, then we'll get them figures too.
Do you know anything? You got any statistics, data, dates, or anything on those 10 that we know of?
Yeah, well, it's basically over the time frame that we had cases. We've had 10 altogether. 6 of those were males, 4 females. They've ranged in age from 42 to 95. We had 3 that were 75. So, basically it's been in that from 42 to 95. In fact, we had 157, 160, 182, 184 years old. So it's spread out evenly over that age group, them age groups. And like I say, that's the official total as of today.
And I know we don't have the official number from the nursing home, but I can recall when we first started keeping a close count on this. We know we had some. We just don't have the accurate number. There for weeks, we were counting a few from the nursing home that we knew of.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
What vaccine status? I know it's starting to get out there more accessible, more available. What's in McGoffin County? How is that?
We're still giving 100 doses a day or a week. Next week we hopefully get our 100 doses in by Monday or Tuesday, and we're opening it up to any individual 18 and over. We will no longer be prioritizing due to the 50 day over 60 or over 70. We're just going to go. We're going to open it up, and anybody 18 and over can start calling the health department Monday and make an appointment. But we still will only get 100 doses per week as of right now. Walgreens has vaccines. Yesterday, the senior citizen in Walgreens in Prestonsburg was given the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. They had 250 doses, and they called us. We put that on social media that they were giving the Johnson & Johnson over there to anybody that wanted it from 18 and above. So the vaccines, a lot of them are out there. We want to get our 100, and we are it up to 18 and over.
Do you know, or when can you give us an idea how many people have been vaccinated in McGoffin County? We were about 10% some weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, we're a little over 10%. As far as our health department, we're already at 10%. We've got a little over 1,400. So with a population of 13,000, we're at 10%. And that's not including the hospitals. And I haven't got a report this week from Pikeville Medical. We do get a report from them. But they had a little over 400 last time I checked. So we're probably getting close to 2,500, I would think, with everybody that's giving vaccines to the people of McGoffin County. I'd say we're close to 2,500 vaccines.
Shepard also checked with the only other vaccine site here in McGoffin County, that being the Walgreens on Parkway Drive. They are still giving the vaccine, averaging 15 to 16 a day. When they have less than an even number of 10, they are allowing walk-ins, essentially I think anyone of any age over 18, if I'm not mistaken, if they have perhaps 4 or 5 doses available, or however many. They are making sure, doing their best, trying to get those into the arms of anyone possible. That's 60 and over, and essential workers right now who can still go online to walgreens.com and select a time to get your vaccine. They of course, still following the state guidelines issued by the governor and health officials in regards to that number. A lot of other facilities, Pikeville Medical Center is actually gone from 18 now. Anyone 16 and over, they're just trying to get the vaccine out as much as possible, and they're able to do so in large numbers. Walgreens, I suspect, will be following that suit very, very soon, but as of earlier this afternoon, that is still the 60 and over, an essential worker category for your local Walgreens. A lot more news to cover. I'll be right back. From birthdays to ball games and anything in between, feed your crowd with a Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe party platter piled high with both hot and spicy and crispy buffalo wings, fried pickles, jumbo breast strips, mini corn dogs, and jalapeno poppers, all for just $36.99. And here's a little tip. Always get extra mini corn dogs when you get the party platter at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. And remember, you can always call ahead 349-3626. Go with All Pro, and you'll always get a perfectly finished project backed by decades of experience and thousands of satisfied customers. Always with the best prices on everything from small to large remodels, bathrooms to kitchens to entire homes, or turnkey new construction on everything from garages, homes to retail space. And seamless gutters too. And All Pro still offers 0% financing for up to 18 months and long-term low interest rates on those big projects. For an estimate, call this family-owned business today. There's no missing that this is the new McFarland and Tinker Law Office location on the Mountain Parkway in the former Farm Bureau building in Sagersville, just like there's no denying that their nearly 60 years of legal experience has won their clients millions and millions of dollars in disability, auto accident, and wrongful death cases. It's where your case matters to you and to us. McFarland and Tinker, also Griffey approved. Up next, the first of several updates tonight. The first two related to reports that I first aired on yesterday. We'll begin with that 5-alarm fire that took place in Johnson County.
Honestly, my mom called me from Louisville at like 7 o'clock this morning, said there was a fire in our apartment, and I was kind of like, what's going on? I ran outside to the door and just opened it. As soon as I opened the door, the apartment filled up with smoke. Our fire alarms, they wasn't going off or nothing.
My God.
Yeah. So I shut the door, and I got them up, and I just told them they had to leave. We jumped out the bedroom window because our front door, like, you couldn't walk out of it.
That was a portion of the interview that I had yesterday with the Caldwells. Today I spoke with Deputy Tim Clark of the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. He confirmed that there are 4 units in the Brookside Apartments, all of which are separated by a fire wall, which did not contain the fire or keep it from spreading from one unit, if you will, to another, each of them housing 12 apartments in all. 3 units, or 36 apartments, he says, he believes were destroyed and the other 12 possibly damaged, displacing dozens and dozens of individuals who lived there. He said it is believed, per the investigation by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department and the Kentucky State Police arson investigator who has been on site, it's believed that the fire began in apartment number 32. It's a second-floor apartment and then spread from there. He also says that they are trying to confirm statements from residents who said that they heard an explosion or explosions in or near that apartment when the fire started. As for the exact cause of the fire, it has not been ruled intentional or accidental at this time, but still under investigation. There were no injuries, we are glad to report, in this fire yesterday. No charges have been filed in this case, and it remains under investigation by the Kentucky State Police. The next update centers around the fatal stabbing that took place in Sayersville on Coal Branch night before last.
We got the call from McGoffin County Dispatch that in the Coal Branch community of a possible stabbing. Arrived, the body of Jamie Bailey, age 41, was pronounced dead by the McGoffin County Coroner's Office. The body was transported to Louisville for an autopsy, pending investigation.
Any confirmation that you're able to give me on an actual stabbing, any suspects, any charges, any arrests?
No.
That was the interview that I shared with you yesterday from McGoffin County Deputy Coroner Brian Parker. I checked with him today. Autopsy results are still pending, and authorities, he nor the state police, are releasing any new details. We did confirm yesterday through other sources as well that the man to your right is Jamie Bailey, the 41-year-old, who was found stabbed to death on the porch of a residence that he shared with Jack David Combs on Coal Branch. Both men were said to be at that location upon arrival of EMS who, as well as the coroner, pronounced Bailey dead on the scene a short time later from a single stab wound. We also were able to confirm that a kitchen knife was recovered from the scene. Again, no other details. Autopsy results still pending at this hour. I do, however, have just in funeral service announcements as have been made in honor of Mr. Bailey. The next update stems from a case that actually began in Johnson County back in September of last year after calls started coming into the Johnson County Sheriff's Department reporting an individual suspected or believed to be involved in a conspiracy to transport pounds and pounds of methamphetamine from out of state back to Johnson County. After putting together a team that consisted of Sheriff Doug Saylor, Johnson County Sheriff's Deputy Bill Meade, Operation Unite, the DEA out of London, they made several controlled buys and gathered other evidence of a Johnson County man who was officially sentenced today in federal court after pleading guilty weeks ago. After the investigation began by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, a search warrant of Tharp's residence in Paintsville turned up nearly $20,000 in cash believed to have been proceeds from drug sales. It was also believed that he was more than likely on his way back to Georgia to return with another large amount of methamphetamine. Court records indicate that authorities believe, based on their investigation, that he made several trips to the state of Georgia multiple times per month, perhaps bringing back as much as 10 to 12 pounds of methamphetamine, maybe even more, to Johnson County before his arrest, bringing back multiple pounds on occasion, perhaps multiple times, again, per month. And after an earlier guilty plea on behalf of Sharp, he was formally sentenced yesterday to 125 months to serve in federal prison. And authorities confiscated, of course, the nearly $20,000 in cash that they had seized. Sheriff Doug Saylor says this investigation a culmination of efforts on behalf of all of those agencies working together, which also included the general public, who he wishes to encourage to relay any like information to his office at any given time, during which you can remain anonymous. Still a lot of news to come, but right now let's see what's happening on tonight's community calendar, brought to you by your local agent Doug Green at McGoffin Farm Bureau. First, a quick reminder that the North McGoffin Elementary Site-Based Council will have a meeting this coming Monday in the school library. Meeting is to begin at 5 o'clock. Everyone is invited to attend. Revival coming up at the Head of Coon United Baptist Church the first Sunday in April. That means not this Sunday, but they're gearing up for revival. And glad I am sure to be able to get back to it. Revival the first Sunday in April at the Head of Coon United Baptist Church. And don't forget about tomorrow's meeting for everyone in the McGoffin County Special Olympics organization, all current athletes and volunteers, parents, families, and any future athletes or volunteers as well. Everyone asked to be at the McGoffin County High School football field tomorrow at noon. And I ask you to send me your announcement like these when you have them, or of course when you've got that special birthday or anniversary wish that you want everyone to see and hear. And if you want birthdays, birth announcements, and anniversaries published in the Sayersville Independent, don't send those to me. Send those to Jo. She makes sure they get in that paper. jo@SayersvilleIndependent.com. From there, we do have, it looks as though, 2 funeral service announcements to pass along to you tonight. Those nightly provided as a service by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, beginning with services that were held earlier today for Noah David Moore, the infant son of James and Ashley Morgan Moore of Flat Gap, survived as well by his big sister, Linda Moore, grandparents Terry and Nella Morgan, and David and Wanda Moore. Graveside services again held earlier today for infant Noah David Moore. Jamie Joe Bailey of Campton passed away Wednesday here in Sayersville at the age of 41, the son of Terry Bailey and Sheila Coffey Stacy. He survived by his son Nicholas Bailey of West Liberty, daughter Tabitha Bailey of West Liberty, his father Terry Bailey, mother Sheila Coffey Stacy, as well as a brother Bobby Lee Bailey and half-sister Tara Bailey. Funeral services will be Monday at the Porter and Son Funeral Home. Being Sayersville's oldest continuous business is not Fraser's Prater Drug's most important legacy. It's the care and attention they devote to every single customer. And that, combined with quick and convenient curbside service at the front and rear entrances, makes for getting your medications simply and safely. And calling ahead makes it even faster. Fraser's Prater Drug Store's curbside and in-store service, open Monday through Friday, 9 until 6.
The coverage you need when you need it most. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Jesse Rudd and his staff at Parkway Pharmacy are proud to announce the newest member of their team, and yours, pharmacist Dustin Jones, who's actually the grandson of Janet and the late Paul Jones of Dixie in Sayersville. And his addition of over 12 years of experience in inpatient and outpatient services gives you unmatched availability and care when it comes to your health and medication.
Parkway Pharmacy, where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Always the time for new beginnings and redecorating, or at least adding a few new favorite pieces to your home decor. And the seasonal shop has just finished resetting their entire home decor section with all new merchandise. It's all there. Classic favorites, new trends, and the unusual pieces that can set your decor apart from everyone else. Farmhouse, timeless blue and white pottery, natural woods, beaded accents, bohemian, bees, lemons, copper, white pottery, and equestrian. It's all there. And it's all there with local delivery, layaway, and curbside pickup. It's the only place like it. The Seasonal Shop in downtown Sayersville.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
The Appalachia Rises Flood Relief Telethon and Fundraising Event, which of course comes from App Harvest, but also included a lot of other partners, raised over $1.2 million for flood relief in Appalachia, in eastern Kentucky, McGoffin County, Johnson County, a host of other counties who were hit very, very hard. Those grants have started to see their way to those who need it most. And Per my friend Jane Higgins at the Bluegrass Community Foundation, she wanted me to remind everyone how you can simply go online and apply. Do you remember my friend Jane? She was with us before, of course, the telethon, talking about how it was going to work, how the Bluegrass Community Foundation was a part of it, now how the Magoffin County Community Foundation as well was going to be a small part of that $1.2 million. A very small part in the grand scheme of things, but nevertheless proud to be a part of it nonetheless. In all, there have been a number of individuals unknown who have received grants and funds from this fundraising event, and that is great, great news. Just last week, over $100,000 went to over 200 families and individuals in need, many in Magoffin and Johnson counties, and in fact, as well, some of this money being used to go toward organizations which helped and incurred a great deal of expenses during those efforts as well. The Water into Wine Food Pantry, the Magoffin County Senior Citizens, and Magoffin County Rescue Squad, and there's still a lot of money to be dispersed. If your local business is in need of flood relief grants, please visit the website that I'm showing you here to apply as soon as possible. It's open for eligible businesses to apply for up to $5,000 in flood funding. The application for farms will be open this coming Monday as well. Keep that in mind. So if you need assistance, you can log on to find out more at AppalachiaRises.org. It's simple as that. Top of the page gives you some background about the flooding, about the events, about the donations that poured in, and if you'll scroll all the way down, it gives you a place where you can simply click the green box that says Apply Now and request relief. Again, the remaining funds will be distributed among small businesses, local farms, and nonprofits, and they all should go to AppalachiaRises.org. The number 1 and number 2 seeds in the boys bracket, Johnson Central and Paintsville, will tip off momentarily right around 7 o'clock here in Magoffin County for the last championship round in the 57th district. But let's roll it back to last night, where it was the number 1 and number 2 seeds, Johnson Central and Paintsville, facing off in the girls' championship. Johnson Central had made their way around Paintsville both times in the regular season. Can't count that in when it comes to tournament time. We knew it was going to be an exciting game, and this is how it turned out. Central stormed out to an early 8-1 lead, then made it 10-4 with 2:30 to go in the first half with this shot by Clara Blair. But before the first quarter ended, Leandra Canute to Emily Priest closed the gap to a 13-8 Johnson Central lead. And at 6:30 to go in the first half, Paintsville's Ava Hayden banks the 3 to close it to a 16-13 game. But the threes from Central would prove hard to overcome for the Tigers. This one from Sammy Seitz made it a 20-13 game with 5 minutes to go in the half. This one from Kelly Blair. Another one from Seitz, and it's plus 13 Central, 1:38 to go in the half. And then later on in the second half, another one from Seitz at 38 to go in the third quarter. And another from Seitz at the third quarter buzzer just seconds later. And by this point, the Johnson Central Lady Eagles had amassed a 42-27 lead over the Tigers, and Paintsville couldn't reel them back in as time ran out on Paintsville, and the Eagles solidified much more than just their 57th district number 1 seed with their third win over Paintsville this season. Sammy Seitz had 7 3-pointers. Kelly Blair had 2 as they continued to dominate the 15th region. When you go back and do the math, Johnson Central has won 6 of the last 8 57th district championships. Well, you and I have been here before, sir.
We have a few times.
Tell me what, besides COVID, what's set this season apart? I know COVID's got to be COVID related, but what's really set it apart?
Probably just the constant disruption. You're never really sure. You play a game on Tuesday and just hope the opponent didn't have a positive kid that was playing for Wednesday. You get knocked out on Wednesday. The delays and all of those things, and everybody went through it. It's not just us, it's every team in the state. Kudos to the KHSAA for trying to make everything work the way they have. And these kids persevered, they fought through. We've had a lot of heartache, a lot of hardship with some of the kids on this team, and they're resilient, man. I just can't say enough about them.
you had a couple of, I mean, you had a really strong team. We know that. Number one seed. Tonight, Sights was on point all night long.
Absolutely. Sammy played an incredible game. Kelsey's dinged up a little bit, and Sammy knew that, and she kindly took it into her own hands there for a little while. We called a few plays for her, and to her credit, she knocked them down.
Have you given any thought to what lies ahead next week?
Not one thought at all. I know our practice time at the Expo Center on Sunday, and we're going to go eat after. That's all I know.
What's Central thinking about watching young Jacob Rice right now?
Oh man, I'm just beaming with pride, man. I've got the best kids in the world, and Jacob, we were talking earlier. He deserves every good thing that's happening to him right now, and he's waiting on us to make that drive tomorrow. So we're going to head out, and I hate to miss the boys' district championship, but I can't leave Jacob up there without coming. So hopefully he'll get in the game, and who knows what can happen. Go Eagles! Golden Eagles here, and the Moorhead Eagles.
So Johnson Central advances to a 20-4 record and on to the 15th region tournament. We'll be talking about that early next week. Paintsville as well advances on to the 15th region as the 57th district runner-up. However, they of course now have 10 losses and 14 wins. And with that, that was a pretty good segue, wasn't planning that at all. A winning forecast brought to you by Licking Valley RECC, just in time for spring. Definitely a springy forecast in store. I mean, freezing tonight and 32 degrees. Not uncommon for early spring in Kentucky. Mostly clear skies and a light wind out of the northeast. A breeze, 5 to 7 miles per hour. And then while we're still hopefully all fast asleep at around 5:27, spring rolls in. Tomorrow will be the first day, and we will, as such, see 59. I'm going to say we're going to see 60 because it sounds better, and I think we'll actually probably do it. Sunny skies, might be a little late in the afternoon time we get there, but sunny and right at 60 tomorrow. Temperatures slightly above freezing tomorrow night, and then for the first full day of spring in the second half of your weekend, 64, and even warmer still, 36 that night, sunny and clear skies, and that's a little bit of a pattern at least for a few days, sunny, clear skies in the 60s. As we go from 59 Saturday, 64 Sunday to 65 and sunny on your Monday, and we'll stay out of the 30s for nighttime lows on your Monday as well. Partly cloudy skies Monday night will carry on over into your Tuesday with partly cloudy skies, or partly sunny skies, during the day, and shower chances, couldn't hold out forever. Around 10% after 4 a.m., so really your Tuesday is going to be quite nice. But Tuesday night, more clouds than not, a low of 50, partly sunny that day, but a 40% chance of shower. Wednesday, upper 60s, 67, partly sunny, a 50% chance of showers. Thursday and Friday, still holding on to the 60s, but more clouds and showers than not. And that's going to put a lid on what's been perhaps a longer week even than usual around here. But we're already looking ahead to next week for more of your news today. And we'll be talking about next week's Sagersville Independent perhaps soon after I see you next time, which will be Monday. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Enjoy the first few days of spring as best you can. We'll see you next week.